Thank you all so much for being here. So this is my second annual Women's History Month celebration and reception. So I'm Senator Leah Webb, I think. Just kidding. We're in the midst of, I was sharing with some folks that we're in the midst of the budget, and for anyone that knows what that feels like, it is a constantly moving thing, but I digress. This is really exciting for me, not just simply as the chair of women's issues in the Senate, just as a strong supporter and believer in women. I truly believe that it is important to lift up those who I often categorize as thankless sheroes. That was intentional. And there are heroes too, but today we're lifting up the sheroes who, yes, who are doing such incredible work every day and are empowering and inspiring people every single day. And these are folks who often you would have no idea that they're doing all this incredible work, because they do it because they genuinely care.
Say so, girl.
And they know about call and response, and that also works too. Yes, so I am just truly delighted. I was, really looking forward to this because, again, women's history is something that is recognized not only here in our state, nationally, and so it's an opportunity to recognize the invaluable contributions of women and that what women make in our community, our state, our country, our world, throughout history. But I believe that this is something we need to do every day, not just simply during the month of March. However, it is important to take time to commemorate, and so it is important for me to say thank you to everyone that I'm recognizing here. It is often very difficult to just create who are the folks I'm going to honor, and so, which is a good problem to have, right? And so I don't want anyone to feel slighted, because there are many more recognitions coming from me, so I just want to put that out there. So a little bit about the honorees today. I am very excited. These are leaders, not just women, but these are leaders that are doing great things in education, civil rights, social justice, entrepreneurship, women's rights, government, healthcare, maternal care. Those are just a few of the areas that today's honorees touch upon, and so much more. And these are leaders that are right here in Senate District 52, and their work isn't confined to the Senate District. It goes beyond, it's statewide. And so, and some of our honorees also have national connections. So again, I want us all to just take a moment and just do a big group round of applause for all of today's honorees. These are women leaders that have broken glass ceilings, and in some cases brick ceilings. They are in some cases the first, maybe they've been the first ones to create opportunities in a variety of ways. These are women who have seen our community go through many changes, because as my mom would say, these are women leaders who are also seasoned. and so much more. So I'm going to start off with our first honoree. And so I've had the pleasure of knowing our first honoree, Karima Leggett, I won't put all of our tea out there, but let's just say for a very long time. There's so many things that I can say about Karima, so, and actually all of the honorees, so I will try to keep to time. But Karima Leggett is the director of the Educational Opportunity Program at Binghamton University. And she has been a higher education professional at Binghamton University for 20 years, and she does not look it. I just want that to be noted for the record. She has also done research on the intersections of race, ethnicity. She really takes her time in working with providing students with supports through the Education Opportunity Program. I was an EOP student. These are programs that are state supports that help whether you are a first-gen college student, you know, if you are a marginalized student, to get more access to higher education and be successful. And so she helps to support, as I said, first-gen students, students of color, students who are financially disadvantaged in having successful academic careers at Binghamton University. She is also Binghamton University's homelessness liaison. She is also an active member of the SUNY Transfer Task Force. We know that when our students are transferring from one institution to another, there's often things that get lost, and so this task force helps with that. She is a former board member of the Binghamton YWCA, and her mother, affectionately known as Miss Cookie, she has been doing work in honor of her mother, who again, another strong, beautiful woman, and so her contributions to our community go beyond just Binghamton University. It's to our broader community, and so please join me in recognizing our first honoree, Karima Leggett. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention she is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, along with myself. She is also my soror. I have another soror on the program too. You know, that wasn't planned, but you know, we just here. But anyway. She's also a poet, by the way. Like I said, I'm not gonna put her on the spot to say a rhyme or anything like that, but she has incredible talents and just is amazing at lifting up everybody. So did you want to say a couple more words?
One sentence. Congratulations to the room here, and I heard this line once, and it was to honor the uncrowned queens. And so I am grateful that that is what Senator Leah Webb is doing today. Thank you.
All right. Our next honoree is Kelly Tobin. So Kelly comes to us from Cortland County, and wait, Kelly's still in the room. She not leave. Okay, I was like she was sitting there. I was here before. So Kelly Tobin comes to us from Cortland County. I had the pleasure of meeting Kelly when I first started in the state legislature, and I will honestly say one of the things that stood out to me about Kelly, one, she was very unapologetic in her advocacy for women and children. She is not only the executive director of the YWCA of Cortland, and she has been the executive director for 10 years. What impressed me was that when we were, there was a community event talking about childcare, and she came right up to me and was like, hey, we have some great things we're doing here in Cortland County that can really help not only Cortland County, but the state as it pertains to childcare. And I was like, yes, let's figure out how to do something. And so, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are people who are doing great work that are, whether people know it or not, are really fighting hard to make sure that our communities get the resources that they need. So in her role as the executive director of the YWCA, she oversees vital community programs such as programs that help victims of domestic violence, as I already mentioned, child care, mentoring and fitness. She is someone that not only upholds the mission of this organization, but she carries it with her in her interactions, not just with elected officials, but with anyone and everyone that she meets. She was born and raised in the area. She attended TC3, and where she earned her associates, and she recently completed her PhD in metaphysical psychology. She is also a mother of two daughters who serve as sources of inspiration for her. I'm a proud auntie, so I totally get that. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I told y'all these stories before. And she has served on the Governor's Child Care Availability Task Force as well. And so again, Kelly, thank you so much for your continued service. And so please join me in congratulating Kelly Tobin and recognizing her.
What I'll say is that behind every great leader is a remarkable group of individuals. So I just want to accept this word on behalf of our staff, our boards who are here, some of them with us today, but also on behalf of all of you sitting in this room, because your leadership inspires me. And together, I think we can just make an incredible impact on our communities. And I would be remiss if I didn't say how much I absolutely appreciate your support. Senator Leah Webb sits and listens. She rolls up her sleeves at the tables with us, and she dives into the problems, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So thank you for all of your support.
All right. Our next honoree, I could say so many things. I guess I'm gonna stick to the program. Miss Denise Crystalia Dentalier Lee. So let me talk to you about Miss Denise. Now again, you will notice the pearls that she is wearing. She is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I already told y'all what that is, but so I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Denise a few years ago, and from the very, very first time I met her, her presence and her commitment to the community stood out beautifully. And as a person, along with her husband, Mr. Lee, just hearing their stories about the work that they've been doing in Tompkins County around education of our children is truly impressive. Definitely, this is a woman who is a caretaker, provider for many people, and I'm talking about full-grown adults, not just children. I want that to be clear. So, just a little bit more about Miss Lee. So, she is from Ithaca, settled in Ithaca, and she actually met her husband, Mr. Lee, at Cornell University. She is a proud mother and grandmother. She has been recognized on local and state levels with awards, including the New York State African Studies Association Educators Award, the Tompkins County Human Rights Commission Award. She is an active member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, also the Eastern Stars of New York, and she contributes all the time to the Ithaca community. She is an advocate for families, always advocating for social justice. She gives back in a multitude of ways. She lives by that concept, each one teach one, and that is something that we all most certainly appreciate, not just for Women's History Month, but in everything that we do, and that's a philosophy I also live by. Please join me in welcoming Denise Lee, our next lady.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Here you go. Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we drove all the way from Ithaca, and it's just like an hour and change. It's not very, very far. But for me, I hadn't driven an awful lot by myself, and I have a wonderful, actually she is a sorority sister also, Miss Zenobia Lee Nelson, who drove with me. And again, I am blessed to be here today. I don't know where to begin, and I don't want to take the whole afternoon in sharing the good things that I could say about, I said in my writing, Madam Senator. Oh gosh, my brain just went. I apologize. For our Senator Leah Webb. I'm just gonna go past all of what I wrote and just say that we in Tompkins County, in Ithaca, I'm going to say, are blessed, truly blessed to have her in our corner. We have to make sure that she stays there. We have to do everything possible to make sure that we will be the wind beneath your wings. We want to make sure, give her a big hand. I wrote that I'm the cousin of Cecily Tyson, and I wrote something special about a quote that she shared. But I don't think, oh maybe, do you mind if I do it right quick? Well, it's a quote that I thought that we had to have a quote, and we did. And I said, oh my gosh, well, who could I write about? There so many unsung heroes out there. I had so many choices, but I said, let me land with my own flesh, my cousin Cecily Tyson. And she said, I think when you begin to think of yourself as having achieved something, then there's nothing left to work towards. Well, that is Miss Cecily Tyson, want to believe that there is a mountain so high that I will spend my entire life striving to reach to the top of it. And that's something that she said. And I said then that this quote exemplifies my core beliefs, and it drives me to continue to climb the mountain of opportunity for students and their families, and to encourage children to strive and thrive to work to the best of their abilities. And again, Senator Leah Webb is about all of that. So please, again, I want to thank you and let you know that I feel blessed today to be one of the 15 women. And then the second year, you keep doing it. We love you.
All right, so our next honoree, I told them I was gonna spill the proverbial tea. So if folks don't know what that means tell all the business. If you still don't know what that means share information. Okay. So our next honoree is Miss Josephine Burrell. And I wanna talk to you about Miss Josephine. I met her, oh my gosh, I don't wanna say I was like a child, but I was very young. I was a young organizer here in Broome County, and I met her at the time. She was and still is a strong community advocate for the poor and working families. And she has been doing this work for a very, very long time and pushing for, honestly, access to resources everybody deserves from birth. And she is very intentional and unwavering in her commitment to lifting up the voices of those who are often rendered voiceless, especially in areas as it pertains to housing. And at the seasoned age of 81, okay, she is still, that's why I use the term seasoned, that's a term my mom often would say, so I always say it. So mom says, I'm not old, I'm seasoned. I'm like, yes ma'am. She is still working to ensure access to quality, affordable housing for those who are in need, especially in our urban communities. She also created a number of programs for young people through young adults in helping them to connect with mentors throughout New York State. She was also instrumental in organizing the first National Night Out Against Crime events here that we were doing here in Broome County. She was also part of the Broome County Anti-Poverty Initiative, among many other public and civic engagement services. And I am just truly delighted that she is here. So please join me in welcoming our next honoree, Josephine, Miss Josephine Burrell. she halfway, like, you coming, all right, okay.
No, that's good, thank you.
She's like, I'm coming all the way up. All right, get me together, Miss Josephine.
Well, this will help if I push this, okay?
Oh,
Get
no
a little
problem.
faster.
No worries, take your time. This is for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this honor. I am truly honored to be here. I have enjoyed every moment of time that I have worked on behalf of low-income people in this community. As she said, as the senator just said, at 81 years old, sorry. Sorry, I apologize for my weakness, but I'm a little weak because I've had surgery and I'm recuperating from that. But my time for working here in this community is not over. I've enjoyed every moment. I will continue to work with, on behalf of low-income people, specifically for housing. And I think right now my next big goal is to meet with the governor so that we can continue to talk about how do we institute houses for low-income people, specifically those who are working, specifically our essential workers. So let us all continue to work together. I am just so honored to be with these women today. I cannot believe it. Thank you so much.
All right. Our next honoree is Miss Ruth Lewis. Okay, so Miss Ruth has known me literally since I was a baby. Like, that's not an exaggeration or a figure of speech, like literally. Miss Ruth Lewis, like Miss Josephine Burrell, these are women who have been unrelenting in their advocacy for social justice, civil rights, human rights. So Miss Ruth has been the treasurer for our local Broomtile, the NAACP, for many years, but that's just barely touching the tip of the iceberg. She has been a lifelong resident here in Binghamton, here in Broome County. Also at the ripe, seasoned age of 84. She is continuing to still be involved in the community in a number of ways. She is actively involved in promoting community events such as MLK Day and Juneteenth. Also continues to advocate for social justice. She has received countless awards from organizations such as Opportunities for Broome, the Juneteenth Planning Commission, the Binghamton Elks Club, and Citizen Action. She is a former employee, retired from IBM. Y'all know who IBM is, right? And so Miss Ruth is someone who, you can call on to support in any way that she can. She is also a proud member of Trinity AME Zion Church, which for those that don't know, historically, Trinity AME Zion Church played a pivotal role in the movement for civil rights. Not just civil rights, but also even predating that. And so much more, she's a part of that legacy. And so I know affectionately, she's like, well, why are you honoring me? There are other people you can honor. And so I said, why not? She is someone who, again, is a thankless hero that you would never know how involved she is in inspiring and pushing people. And I'm not just saying just for the community, I'm saying just as an individual. She is truly someone that is still answering the call. She is the embodiment, as so many of the honorees, she is the embodiment of what it means to be a public servant. So please join me in bringing up and welcoming Miss Ruth Lewis and honoring her. And so I actually wanted to present you with, this is a proclamation So, I'm not gonna read all of the pieces, but I just want to, say thank you for continuing to show us the importance and the impact and the example of what it means to assist others and how we can give accessible service and information to all age groups and continue to serve others with allegiance to making our county better and of course our state. So, for you.
I want to thank Leah, because I think that I really have inspired her a little bit, because I said, Leah, you haven't been running for public office. You were my council person for two terms, and then you just stopped. And then the next thing I knew, she got in touch with me and said, I'm running for state senator. I said, yay! And using the Maya Angelou's reference when she says, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. And Leah is great. And she has told us and shown us how great she is. So, it's true.
Dropping all the tears. Okay, so our next honoree is a leader in government, and I have had the pleasure, and not just government, but in the areas as it pertains to public health, and that is Mary Kaminsky. She is currently a Broome County legislator, but let me tell you a little bit more about Mary. Mary is again another person, like so many women that I'm honoring today, that you can literally call and they will show up for you and will bring reinforcements for whatever is needed. Take that however you choose. But it's always for the good. And Mary, as I said, she is not only a county legislator, she is the Director of Development for the Southern Tier AIDS Program, also affectionately known as STAP. And so she has a history of working in not only in nonprofits, but really demonstrating a strong commitment to community service and advocacy through health. She also spent 23 years at Lourdes Hospice, gaining expertise in compassionate care and organizational management. She is also a proud mother and grandma. There's a lot of moms and grandmas here, so I'm sure everybody who are aunts. And so she has just incredible experience, and more importantly, just continues to commit her time, talent, and treasure to making Broome County and the Southern Tier better. So please join me in welcoming our next honoree, Mary Kaminsky. So, I figured, let me give a proclamation to another government official. No, I'm just kidding, there's others too. So, Mary, as I said, your commitment to education, advocacy for our community is just truly invaluable and continues to have impact on many people. So, this is from me to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I just want to say quickly how humbled I am to be included amongst all you ladies. I truly am. And for somebody I admire so much, to recognize good in me really makes me feel so wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right, next honoree. Oh my goodness, how do I bring up this next honoree? So, I go way back with this particular honoree. Another leader was retired from government, but most certainly still active in the community, hailing from Tompkins County, and that is Martha Robertson. So I had the pleasure of connecting with Martha many years ago, but not that many. When I was doing work on city council as it pertained to, at the time, there were propositions for doing fracking here in Binghamton, and I knew then, like many others, that the so-called economic promise of that was going to be very short-lived, but the public health and environmental impacts would be something that would last for generations. And so we met as a part of a coalition of other leaders, advocates, and fighting back against fracking. And so she is someone that is very unapologetic in her commitment to our environment, but it doesn't stop there. She also is a former Tompkins County legislator where she served for 20 years. She also served as the chair of the Tompkins County Legislature for 6 years, prioritizing key issues, whether it's housing, I already talked about climate, also alternatives to incarceration. She led initiatives at the Tompkins County Industrial Development Agency, also known as the IDA, to develop progressive housing and energy policies, and also to support child care providers, especially during COVID-19. She is also a champion for women's rights, and so we know that that is something that continues to be under attack, and she continues to be on the front lines and advocating for expansion of women's rights. She has been a resident of Tompkins County for over 41 years. She is a Cornell graduate. She is also a board member and volunteer with the Science Center, which is in Ithaca. It's a really great place. I would encourage everyone to check it out. Since 1988, and I said she was retired, but I know what that means. There's another retiree here, but I know that means y'all are still working in some form or capacity. And so she still remains very active in Tompkins County, again, focusing on key issues around climate and housing. Please join me in welcoming our next honoree, Ms. Martha Robertson. And so, again, she may recognize, proclamations and all the things. So again, I'll just read just a couple of pieces here. So I want to say thank you, Martha, for your continued efforts in your retirement and continue to play an active role in numerous civic engagement organizations, being a board member of organizations such as Eleanor's Legacy, where you're mentoring women and helping to pave the way for the next generation of women leaders, and more importantly, pushing to expand access to reproductive care, for your tireless efforts to protect reproductive freedom for all women, and for protecting our environment and all of the things. Congratulations, and this is a proclamation from me to you.
Thank you. I'm going to say Senator Webb because I love continuing to say Senator Webb. Thank you so much, Senator. This is really great. What an honor to be in such beautiful, wonderful company. Being retired just means you get to pick the soapboxes that you want. You don't have to vote on everything. You get to pick the soapboxes with a little more discretion. So I'm just going to say, I know about fracking. Senator Webb has jumped on a soapbox about carbon dioxide fracking and is going to get that bill passed in the Senate, it's been passed in the Assembly already. So thank you for that. And I believe that one of the first votes you took had to do with women.
It
was about the Equal Rights Amendment.
Yes.
And to get that on the ballot in November, because organizers always have the next thing we're going to ask you for. So make sure everybody gets to the polls in November and not just vote for Senator Webb to keep doing this great work, but to vote for the Equal Rights Amendment. It's so important. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for lifting that up. That was one of the first votes I was able to take as a newly elected senator. And so for those that aren't familiar, the Equal Rights Amendment is a way that we're trying to constitutionalize access to reproductive rights, but also expanding definitions of identities that should not be discriminated against. So again, definitely look out for that on the ballot. With that being said, our next honoree So now I know we've been spending time, so we're gonna shift it a little bit and get to some of my entrepreneurial leaders. And so this next honoree I'm gonna bring up is Stacy Pryor, the proprietor of Sinfully Sweet Cafe in Cortland County. So let me talk to you about Miss Pryor. Funny story how I came upon her business. So, I travel a lot around the district. You may see me sometimes when I'm out. I'm out quite often. And so, I was in Cortland County I'm trying to remember what the occasion was, but I was starving. And I was like, let's walk around, let me see what's around. And I was with some members of my team, and I came upon Sinfully Sweet Cafe. I'm like, the smells alone bring you in. So it didn't take much to convince me to go in, to be clear. So I go in there and I meet Stacy, and we're talking, and I'm learning more about her story and connecting and how she started her business and just her story, her life story. I was just truly impressed. In addition to that, having incredible food, baked goods, which I love those. But so she founded Sinfully Sweet, and I also thought the name was awesome. Sinfully Sweet. That means you know what you're getting into. But it's all good. So, founded in July of 2016, this marked a significant transition for her from her previous work in professional work to going from working for someone to being her own boss. Okay? Her life partner, Bobby, played a crucial role in building her kitchen and transforming the shop, showcasing a supportive and collaborative relationship. And she pursued her passion for one of my favorite things, chocolate, through an online course which eventually evolved into her shop and her career. She actively engages with the community in events, whether it's fundraisers for local groups, starting with fudge fundraisers. And I have to tell you, her fudge is on point, and I have other folks that back me up in that as well. Also, popcorn and chocolate fundraisers. Her business also reaches into Broome County and Tompkins counties. Wow. She sells products in local shops and maintains a daily presence at her Main Street Homer location, as well as the Farmers Market on Front Street in Binghamton on most Saturday mornings. She is truly, as her name says, sinfully sweet. I'm going to take out the sinfully part and just say she is truly a sweet person. Okay. And again, thank you so much for what you do. Please join me in welcoming our next honoree, Stacy Pryor, and honoree. So Stacy, I am presenting you, this is the Empire Award, and I want to explain to everyone what this means. So the Empire Award is the highest award that we can give in the Senate for a small business. And so I'm going to present this to you for your commitment. And so thank you so much. I don't know if you want to say anything, no pressure.
Well, I think I'm a little out of my league. There's some pretty impressive women in this room.
No, you were right at home. You were right at home.
Starting with you, it was a true honor to have you walk into the shop. I have a grandson, my daughter's here today, her son, and he said after you left, you got to meet the senator, and so did I. So it didn't stop there. We went to the Pumpkin Fest, and my same grandson was there, and he said, she's back. So she's made an impression on my family. Today I have with me my life partner Bob, and he is the one that helped me transition. We took an old dress shop on Main Street in Homer, and we transitioned it into a kitchen, and from there it grew into what we are right now. My daughter is also sitting back there with me, and she was a crucial part in helping me get it started as well. So I thank you, and I thank you for all your efforts at seeing what small business does bring. Thank you very much.
All right, our next honoree, staying in that same lane of, maybe I should say entrepreneur woman Real ship. We'll figure out the framing of it, make it flow better. But y'all know where I'm going with that. All right. Our next honoree is Shantae Scrine, owner and proprietor of Sweet Tays LLC. All these sweets, I love it. Okay. So oh my gosh, I met Shantae, oh man. I believe it was it was a community event. She had a booth, and actually it was at Launa. That's when I met Shantae, and that's a big event that happened here in Broome County. And I remember going to her table, and I was like, what is this amazingness that you was cooking over here? And shoving them in, and it wasn't just her. What impressed me was that it was also, she had her family with her mom, children. It was a family affair, and I'm like, I love it. And having some incredible food just took it to the next level. And ever since then, you know, just seeing her growth as a business in our community and beyond is truly impressive. So a little bit about Shantae and her business, Sweet Tays LLC. She is also a proud mom as well, and her love for food began under the influence of her grandmothers. She has degrees in culinary studies. She is the founder and owner of Sweet Tays LLC, which she started at home in 2021. So in the middle of the pandemic, she's like, you know what, let me start my food business, right? People may have been wanting food during that time, and so much more. And so she is always in the community, doing things to lift up other women, other leaders. She has a partnership with Cornell Cooperative Extension and Taste of New York, where she actually offers hot food and snacks. Her products are available there. She also teaches classes to veterans and to others in our community around education and expanding their culinary skills. She also collaborates with our local school districts through the Junior Achievement Program, which promotes education, leadership, and mentorship. She is leading by example in our community, and it is truly an honor to have her here and to recognize her also with the Empire Award. Please join me in welcoming Shantae Scrine. As I shared with Stacy, you are also the recipient of the 2024 Empire Award. Again, this is one of the highest honors we can give to small businesses in the Senate, so congratulations. And did you want to say a few words? No pressure.
Absolutely. Okay. I first off want to say thank you so much. I am humbled and honored to be here amongst all you wonderful women. Happy Women's History Month. Yes. And I'm just honored. I was floored when she offered me this plaque. So just thank you, and I look forward to working in this community to make it better. All right.
All right. So, last but certainly not least, okay, I better do this right so I don't get in trouble. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm just playing. Oh my goodness. Our next honoree is Sharon Chesnell. Sharon has known me literally since, I won't say as a child. I was much older at the time. So I talk about Sharon Chesnell. Sharon is the founder of the Mothers and Babies Perinatal Network here in Broome County, but it goes beyond Broome County. She also recently retired, but still remains very active. She is a prominent nonprofit leader. People come to her still in seeking advice on how to do nonprofit work. We know that nonprofit work, especially in the areas of maternal and infant care and health services, is truly needed. So she served as the executive director of Mothers and Babies Perinatal Network of South Central New York for over 30 years. And I had the pleasure of working at Mothers and Babies as an intern in college. I was a student at Binghamton University, and it was my first internship, And I must have did an all right job because they offered me a job. They were like, hey, you know, if you're looking for employment, you can come work for us. I'm like, all right, great. So, and that experience most certainly molded me and shaped me in the work that I did and still do on health policy. She has decades of experience in perinatal health and just so much more. Sharon, it brings a lot of heart, spirit, support to this work. She is truly a community asset in many, 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 many ways. She is also a current member of the New York State Citizens Advisory Committee on Child Abuse and Neglect. She is an emeritus board member for the New York State Perinatal Association, and when we talk about the challenges we're seeing across our country and our state as pertains to maternal mortality rates, and having people on the front lines that understand, who have been doing the work, it is crucial that we have leaders like Sharon who are helping to ring the proverbial bell and providing guidance on what we can do. She has received countless awards, including the Dreammaker, which I didn't know about this, the Dreammaker International Award for Outstanding Community Service. And she also received the 2023 Rural Health Leader Award from the Rural Health Network of South Central New York. She is also a proud mom and grandma, or my mom would say glamma, but and of course her awesome husband who is here with her today. And so with that being said, please join me in welcoming our honoree, Sharon Chesnut. Sharon is making her way up. I want to present to Sharon, this is the Commendation Award, and this is the highest award that I am able to give as a state senator to individuals in our community, and so this is the award that I wanted to give to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I can't read what it says, but it looks beautiful.
Thank you. I truly am honored and humbled. And it means an incredible amount to me, Leah, that you have, first of all, what you have achieved. I do feel like a proud mom. You know, as we pushed Leah, she got started with us, and I like to think that all of her community activism, I know there's a lot of other people before us, but she recognized from the work that we do at our agency how challenged so many families are with the needs that they experience. And they can range from access to health care, to affording health care, to getting the services they need for themselves or for their children, their babies, and it's so important. So I too want to say, one, thank you to you, and we want to support you all the way.
Oh,
we want to see you there, and I'm looking to see you as the next female governor of New York State.
Lord, don't say
point.
that.
But I'd also like to also congratulate everyone in this room for all the work that they've done, and not just for the people who have been recognized today, but there's a lot of other women who work so tirelessly throughout the spectrum of services and businesses throughout New York State that really make it possible to live the lives we all live, and we're fortunate for that. So thank you again.
So with that concludes the honorees, but doesn't mean the celebration has to end. I'm just checking the time, making sure we all right. I have no idea what time it is. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. Oh, wow. That is, I couldn't even, that's timing on another level. But anyway, I want to make sure, again, truly, I want to thank all of the honorees and everyone who's here today. Truly, this is a delight for me. It fills my spirit, and it just serves as a reminder, as an inspiration to keep going, to keep moving forward, and I hope that that does that for all of you as well. So in that same spirit of moving forward, if I could have the honorees come and move forward up to the front so we can take a big old group picture together. We can bring up the music, because that's when the celebration has to stop, and there's food still, so let's do it. Thank you.